Greetings, loyalists and heretics. Welcome to Iron and Ceramite, where we once again enter the war without an astropath.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Iron and Ceramite podcast. My name's John, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Shane.
Hello.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Dave.
Hi guys.
And Tom.
What?
How you guys doing? Everyone good?
All good.
Oh, good. Pretty good.
Good, thank you.
Very good. Right, so before we get into it, we'll just quickly do a bit of admin. So we're going to change the way that we're doing the podcast very slightly. We're going to break the videos up into two. It will be still the same. We're still going to do the same one sit-in recording, but what we're going to do is, as normal, release part one on a Monday and then part two on a Friday, the same session. So part one will always be our hobby roundup, and then part two that comes out on a Friday will be whatever topic we have decided to talk about. So we'll be getting into this week's hobby roundup very shortly, and then when you come back on Friday, Shane, what are we going to be talking about this week?
This week, we'll be talking about the Velka Fenrica, the Space Wolves.
Very nice. Bit of technical there. Someone's been doing his own work.
Got to give it the proper name.
Yeah. So nothing's going to change. We're just splitting it down a bit, so it's a little bit more easy and consumable for everybody. So unless anybody's got any other admin to bring up, we'll hop straight into it. And we are beginning with you this week, Shane.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. What you can see here is, unlike Dave's spending time painting up his terrain and making it look all nice, I just got a load of spray cans and sprayed it all different colours. And for the most part, it worked quite well. I did try on the mechanicum bits, which you can't quite see there. I based them in black and then used lead belcher, I think it was, to do some, I think in the airbrush community, they call Xenophil highlights. But for me, it's just spraying a bit more silver on top. But it gives it a nice dusty, ashen look. And if I ever get around to putting a bit more detail on it, I will do, and that will be enough for the terrain for me. But it does the job, and I think in the last battle we had, John, I think it was nicer than the bits of folded cardboard that I had from second edition. Gave it a bit more character.
Yeah, they look good as well. And considering it is, like you say, you've done it. Although you say that about the cardboard, actually got a couple of comments. People really digging it. You said it was second edition, all that stuff.
It came from the second edition box set. That was the old original folded cardboard. I've still got it in one of my carry cases, but it's older than most people playing the hobby at the moment.
It's your own little relic now, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
But no, I got a couple of people actually really on the Instagram stories actually really into that stuff.
Bit of vintage charm.
Yeah. Cool. And then we've seen this before. Surely.
No, you haven't. This is entirely different. I don't know what you're talking about. So I swapped. Basically, it's the same Rhino chassis, but it's swapped out the heavy bolted gunner and obviously whack on the Razorback twin las cannons. When I get round to building the second one, which after the experience with this one will be a long time, I'll do the double bolter, the heavy bolter at the back as well, so I can swap them out as needed. But this is just it's the same chassis, but it's the Razorback components added to it. So I was being lazy and just that's all I painted, as I said, until I've got to now do 500 points worth for our battle at the end of the month, John. But up till now, that's all I've done.
Yeah.
What you're saying is you painted a gun.
I have painted a gun. Not only a gun, a double-barreled gun.
A twin-linked gun, I will give you that, but it's still a gun.
And with drilled barrels. So there's drilled barrels there.
Ooh, look at you.
Drilling all my barrels these days.
How are you finding drilling barrels? Was it all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, you got to love drilling a barrel.
And then just another view of it there. It looks good, mate. Like, great work, great effort.
We do the
Even
job.
if you are cutting corners.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
my passion for painting was never a high point anyway, and it's declining rapidly.
I think those touches of colour though, the red and yellow do make the whole model come alive a little bit more though, I think.
It's a bit of a throwback to the 90s colour schemes that you used to see, where it was a lot of on the Devastator walls, you'd get a lot of yellow and red.
You still haven't named it though.
No, I don't know what to put on it yet. I haven't made my mind up. That'll come. That'll come when I do all the transfers as well. I haven't done any of them yet, but
Okay.
that'll come in due course.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Moving on to a lot of models.
So these this is my completed army so far. So I have just finished off Helbrecht, who hopefully we'll see shortly. And I thought I'm going to get everything out and just see what I've got and see what it looks like on the table. So this is me so far. Most of it's firstborn. To the right hand side, obviously you can see the Primaris squad starting to come in. But I'm quite happy with how that is so far. I think that I quite easily get a good variety of 1,500 points now. I can change it around for my firstborn at least. I've still got a fair few models to paint, but I just got distracted and thought I'd just get them all out and have a look at them. So,
how many points in total is that, Dave?
More than 10. I don't know. I haven't added them all up. You're probably looking at about 3,000.
Yeah, I was going to say it's nice little crusade.
So it's getting there. It's getting there. So yeah, I still need a few more to make a fighting company, but once I've got everything that I've got painted, then I should be pretty close to that. So,
how many pots of black paint you've been through so far? Have you been keeping tally?
No, a fair few, definitely a fair few, but a lot, especially my older models, a lot of that was just my just a spray can. So just to spray on Chaos Black and then a bit of white on the shoulders.
Jobs are good.
Done.
Nice. And just another angle of it there.
Yeah. They're the Primaris side of it. I've only got one squad of Devastators to do. And then I'm moving away from firstborn and just doing all my primary stuff because I've got so much sitting there. A lot of it's built, but it's not done. So, yeah.
What have you got left, mate? Primaris wise, what have you got left to build or to paint? Sorry.
Paint. I've got Eradicators, Outriders, Invicta Warsuit, 15 Intercessors, 10 Reavers, 10 Infiltrators, Captain in Phobos, Lieutenant in Phobos. Primaris, Repulsor Executioner, and Impulsor.
So you've still got a good another couple of thousand points to come then, probably.
Fair amount, yeah.
Nice.
And there he is, the man himself, Prime Marshal Helbrecht. That's not like the best picture that I've got because I couldn't take any good pictures, really. But that's him standing with Grimaldus and the Emperor's Champion, the three sort of most important models in my army, I think. So. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how he's come out, actually. It took me a bit longer than I was anticipating.
You got to do a bit of retconning from last episode because you forgot his famous nickname of Old Crazy Eyes.
Yeah, so the eyes didn't go as well as I hoped, but it's the effort that counts, isn't it? I mean, he is a bit googly-eyed, but...
He's in a mad rage.
He is, yeah. He's taking on two opponents at once. So he's looking at both.
There's a heretic and a Xenos. He doesn't know which way to look.
So I was going to muck around and try and get it all spot on. But I thought I'm never ever going to get it spot on with what I've got. I don't know if I've sort of mentioned the previous pods, but my brushes, I really need to get some new brushes. So with what I got, that was pretty much as good as I was going to get. And yeah, I think it's always quite nice. From a distance, he looks pretty good until you look up close, and then he's just looking all over the place. So it's always.
Apart from the fact that he looks like one of them things kids used to stick to the fridge, like he's not bad. No, I've got to say, I really like the gold armor. I like that you went out of the box with that and didn't just paint in black. Because when you see him at the head of the army, it really is like that point of light, like the leader, in full gold. I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah. even though he stands out, like he looks good. And then you've done a good job with him. Like,
Yeah.
and you can always touch them eyes up, but
Yeah.
he looks really good, mate. For like,
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I did try and do sort of a bit of an effect on the power sword as well.
oh yeah,
Don't know how much you can sort of see it there, but yeah, overall, I'm quite happy with him. I'm glad that he's done now because I've been waiting to play him for ages, and I said I'm not going to play him until he's painted, and then just went on to all these different projects. So here he is, ready to go, ready for the next game. So I'm definitely going to bring him. Whoever plays me next, expect to see High Marshal Helbrecht.
What's his date? What's his stats like? What's he actually do on the tabletop?
They're pretty good. He's obviously got the sort of the High Marshals. He's got a combi melter there.
Yeah.
And his stats is pretty good overall. Didn't we cover this in the last one where you grilled me and answered all the questions?
We may well have done. It's coming back slowly.
So yeah, no, he does it pretty good. I think he's 155 points. So he's relatively cheap for.
The same as
years,
Mephiston for me then. And he's a pretty decent character, so he's got to be quite powerful, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have fun with him. If I can bring him and Grimaldus and hopefully buff the army that I'll bring.
Did you dry brush his cloak or cape?
No, I've edge highlighted it.
It looks pretty good from again, not too well, but it looks pretty good.
that's why.
Thanks.
No, it looks good, man. Cool. Right, I know you. That's all your pictures. You got anything else, Dave? Before we move on.
No, that's it.
Cool.
I gotta say, I want to know why you didn't count up all your points. You got everything out. He was right in front of you. Why the hell did you not go? Oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay. Oh,
You can't
I
count
didn't even
taking thousands of pictures.
Sorry.
I said you can't count while you're taking thousands of pictures because I guarantee they had a proper model photo shoot.
Yeah, they did, and a video shoot as well. I've got videos to go up on Insta later. So.
did you get someone vaping in the background just to add that sort of smoke shimmering across the battlefield?
No, I didn't. That would have been cool. I have to get you over next time.
I'll come around and do that for you next time.
Our effects expert.
Right, Tom, you got these guys.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't done an awful lot since we last recorded. These I'd already actually done, but I forgot to send the pictures over last time, so I thought I'd chuck them into this one. So they're my, I suppose you can call them converted Death Company. So they're only play as regular Death Company Marines, but I've just used assault intercessor bodies just to make them look Primaris really, so they fit in a little bit better. I still got, as you can see, I've still got to paint them. I've only undercoated them at the moment in the black. And also the bases are all raised and they're going to have astro granite around them. So they look, sort of rocky or craggy sort of thing. Giving them all power swords, 3 Inferno pistols and 2 plasma pistols.
Nice. What colour scheme you going with for them?
Just a regular Death Company mostly. I mean, I did my Death Company intercessors. I think that was in the last pod, wasn't it? And so I pretty much can do them identical to them, have them as close matching as possible, I think.
Very nice. And the last one.
Cool.
So I can't remember. Did you say you can catch these, or they're just out of a set?
No, they're like I suppose you converted. I suppose I don't know really the difference between kit bashed and converted. I think these are more converted because they're not just random bits. It's pretty much just the intercessor body with Death Company shoulder pads, really, and obviously swords and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think pretty much converted. Does anyone know the difference between the two, kit bashed and converted, or are they pretty much just the same thing?
Oh, go ahead, Glenn.
I was going to say my definition of kit bashing would be putting things from separate kits together, whereas converting is physically changing the components, like sort of cutting up an arm and readjusting it, green stuff, that kind of stuff. But that's just my interpretation of it.
Yeah. So this is more kit bashed, I'd say.
I would go, if you're just using things from 2 separate kits, I call that kit bashing.
Yeah, cool. No, we'll go with that then. Yeah, so I suppose these have been kit bashed. And I was really happy with the way they turned out. I wasn't sure, but I mean, obviously, because they're push fit, the assault intercessor, so it's very easy just to get started on them. and they're already in these decent enough looking poses so that they can almost look like they're jump pack marines anyway, because they look like they're pushing off, ready to take to the air. So yeah, I was pretty happy with the way they come out, especially the one with the Grey Knight sword sticking down into the alien head or the demon head, I suppose it is.
That's cool. Look forward to seeing them done. Something I really am looking forward to seeing done. This one.
My Sangrinious model. Now, I didn't know whether to put this on the show or not, just because it's obviously not a legitimate model. But I just thought it looked so cool, and I have been really looking forward to painting it. So literally, it looks exactly like Sangrinious should look. There's blood angel drops all over him. He is Sangrinious, but I bought him on eBay for 26 quid, and he's called the God of Salvation on there. So yeah, looking forward to getting him done. It's so detailed though, for the price, it's unreal. But it is quite frail or fragile, like resin. So if I dropped it, it would probably snap in half.
Has he got one gold foot, or is that just a light?
He has one gold foot. I was pissed, and I started blobbing on the paint, and then I thought, I just can't do it. So I just left it.
Because that, you said it's resin. Resin looks that color. I'm assuming that has been undercoated. Because if it hasn't, I'm gonna drive to your house right now and slap the shit out of you.
No,
I'm
it's
not a
been
painter.
undercoated. You could have fooled me. But yeah, it's been undercoated a couple of times because it's so detailed. I got away with doing it twice, 2 finish coats. I didn't want to, sometimes you get overexcited and smear it all on, and it just goes everywhere. But it took it quite well. Yeah, the bone color I used, the same one that I use for all my golden armor, and it seems to work quite well. But on this model, I noticed on the foot, it might just because I was smashed at the time, but it wasn't going on as well as on the metal models that I do it on. I don't know why that makes a difference, but it really seems to. With
the resin models, sometimes, are you talking about the undercoat or the actual paint?
The actual paint, even over the undercoat, yeah.
Usually it would have been sort of like the release agent from the mold. You need to wash resin models sometimes. But if you've already got the undercoat on, it shouldn't really make that much of a difference. But maybe it's come through. I don't know.
So yeah, that's what I thought. But I think maybe it's more to the fact that obviously the main one I painted was the Sanguinor and Tycho, and they're tiny models. So really, maybe that's what it is. Just because this is so much bigger, obviously bigger surface areas. I think that's probably more than likely the reason that it seems that way. But
and if you're pissed, you might have got your paint properties a little bit off as well.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't ruin it, to be honest.
Yes. Yet. And then you sent me this one today, and out of nowhere, I've got to say this is some of your finest work, Tom.
Right. Okay, that's not my work. Let's get that out there straight away. So I don't know who painted this, someone with no eyes and painting it with their feet by the looks of it, but it's on eBay. I thought I needed to rescue it. I thought I can't leave that on there looking like that. I'm not saying I'm going to do such a better job, but since with my Emperor's Champion, rescuing stuff on eBay for really dirt cheap, I think this was like £3 itself. And I thought, it's a nice little vintage model. It's not that cool, to be honest, but I just like them vintage models at the moment. There's something about they're so small that they don't take long to paint at all, really. And because they're so cheap, it doesn't really bother me if it messes up or not. It's just a bit of fun. So yeah, I'll see how this one goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it through. It hasn't actually arrived yet, but shouldn't be long.
Is that an ultramarine captain? That is, isn't it?
So all it said in the description was Space Marine Captain. But he with the I don't know what you call it, the thing over his head, helm and all that. He looks like an ultramarine to me.
I remember this model. I'm pretty sure it is an ultramarine. I think at the bottom of his, like the bit the leathery bit that's supposed to be hanging off the bottom there's a U. You can't really see it. It's just there at the bottom. That when you clean it up and when you get it all the paint off, that will be like the little ultramarine symbol, I think.
Oh, awesome. Do you know what? That's a really good thing then, because I've got my ultramarine librarian from that sort of era, so I can put him next to him. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Someone tells me if that might be, or very, very similar to the old Captain Sicarius model. I think that might be that, or the old one looks very, very similar, because I have that model at home, and I'm pretty sure it was Sicarius whenever I got it.
Oh, that'd be awesome, because the other one is the Tigerius or whatever his name is, but he didn't have the name on the bottom bit either. So
yeah, I'll have a little look for the retro Sicarius model. think that might be that one. At the very least, it's got that equipment.
Yeah. No, awesome, man. Cheers for that.
Oh, excuse me.
Cool. Right, and that's the end of everything you sent me, Tom. And Glenn, I've included one for yourself, mate. This is
Hooray!
my least
What's
favourite.
that, John?
Well, I wanted to say it thrashed me. It beat me, but I feel like I did all right in the end. I was just very unlucky and made some poor tactical decisions in that game.
So
We had a good game. It was a good game, though, wasn't it?
it was a good game, but I just made sure that's why I like playing objective-based game with decent mission, because I thought, right, as soon as you get to me, you're going to smash the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So I need to get my points in quickly. And like you saw, it didn't matter if you killed my last thing or not. I'd left you in such a position that you weren't scoring the points to overtake me. So I didn't have a lot left on the table, but I got the points in the end.
Yeah, but you had one by round 5. You had one model, and it was the crawler on the left, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had my plague burst crawler and 2 Terminators left, and that it's so frustrating. And then because obviously we played objectives, 4 objectives, and then I think it was at the end of every command phase, it was like 5 points for an objective, 5 points if you had more than the other person. I think was that it? Is that how we did it?
Holding 2 objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you bonus 5 if you had more than the other person.
Did you play any secondaries or just?
No, we didn't bother with second.
I can't count that high.
To be honest, I'm not hugely impressed with the AdMech ones, and I hadn't had the chance to go through the rulebook ones well enough to sort of plan it out. But going ahead, I'll definitely think about looking at a couple of secondaries. I don't think any of us even went for the standard secondary objective in the game.
Okay.
Because it was really awkward. So it was like, no.
Yeah, we just kept it simple for that because But
who would you say were the MVPs on your side, and obviously Glenn's as well? Who was the standout model or group or unit?
well, the problem is like Necron. So we'll get to obviously I played Glenn and Shane between the last episode, and I played Shane's Necrons, which have this horrendous like the Poxwalkers can come back. The Necrons can come back I feel like a little bit easier than Poxwalkers, and they're a little bit more bitey.
I don't know, because how many of my men actually came back?
And they can heal as well, can't they?
They do, yeah. The living metal was a bit of a pain in the arse. Yeah,
And
that's fair.
I put a few wounds on Glenn in like round 1. I think I killed one model, put some wounds on, and then literally Glenn's turn. Everyone's healed because he's got. I can't remember what they were called.
Yeah.
But basically, engine seers were they?
Yeah, I've got 2. There's a tech priest beside each of the walkers, and then my warlord, who's standing front and center, was standing right behind my tank. So literally any damage came there where it was like, D3, D3 wounds back.
Yeah.
So the rest of the stuff was just basically there to be cannon fodder.
I tell you what, 2 both together. So the game I had against you, Shay, the game I had against Glenn, Lord of Contagion. I might as well just launch it out the bloody window.
I did see that on your Insta. And was like, oh, poor old Lord of Contagion, not doing anything again. Oh.
I know. And I used so the first game I played with Shane, I think when we finished the game, I had some command points left. And it wasn't until the last round where I thought, I failed a charge. I kept failing charges. I was like, I'll re-roll that. And I got in. If I'd done that like maybe a round earlier and thought about it, would have maybe things would have been slightly different. And then with Glenn, I used all my CP. I think it was like I texted you guys in round 1 and put in the chat. I was like, I've already lost this. So I expected it to be finished quite early. We started playing about 7. I didn't leave his house till past midnight. Yeah. But it was good. It was good. What was the final score for us? 35 to me, 45 to you?
I think mine's still sitting up there. Hang on.
He's framed it. Fucking hell.
No, I just haven't cleared up the line. Yeah, I had 45. I think you had 35, or maybe you would have got 40 on that last because your crawler was still sitting on the objective.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost by like one objective.
Yeah, because I charged my playcaster in because he only had to kill 2 dudes, and if he'd killed them both, I'd have been all right. But he failed, and yeah, there was no coming back from that. But it was a good game. I really enjoyed it. Like for both of you guys, like playing my second and third objective-based game. Although I've lost every single one, I learned a lot every time. And I thought I did better. I definitely did better against Glenn. But yeah, I think I lost it in round 1 just by not covering one of the bases and trying to get into him again. But other than that, it was good.
To be fair, though, I did try and guide you along with certain.
You did help me out.
Certain elements that you were making sort of like, I don't want to say rookie mistakes, but just not thinking certain things through. So it was just.
I've only been playing like a couple of months.
Yeah, I know, and like these things will come, but it's just like sort of model positioning and stuff like that. It was just, trying to make sure you're stupidly for me, making sure your Lord of Contagion wasn't the guy standing right at the front of all your Terminators.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that was it, wasn't it? Because they obviously teleported in together, and I put him at the front because the idea was I wanted the better dude to have the least charge, and then Glenn was like, "Yeah, but if he's there, everything's just going to absolutely destroy him on my turn." I was like, "All right," but didn't matter. He didn't get it anyway. He just died. He just turned up and died. Useless.
I'm looking forward to playing like actual Marines where all of my plethora of like damage 2 guns will be able to shoot a Marine and go dead. None of this. I take away damage and I've only taken 1 wound. You dick.
I was going to say I was looking at the list, wondering whether or not you would have loaded up more damage 1 models, but I suppose it depends what you've got, right?
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't an optimized list. It was just, I'll take one of those and some of that and one of those and some of them because I've never played at all. That was the first time they'd ever been out of the box, basically. So yeah, I had plans for things. The infiltrators probably will never see the table again. They were, but I did lose like half of them to 1 psychic power before they even got a chance to do anything. So I might give them a second run. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit of tailoring just to get used to what's good and what playstyle works for me, and going through and picking out my Forge world because I just sort of went, that one looks all right. Because I meant to do that before John came around and just neglected to do so.
Yeah, that's the thing. He waited till I got there, looked at what I bought and went, oh, I know what's going to beat that. So, and
apart from the fact you'd sent me your list like a couple of days beforehand.
Yeah,
I could have already done that. I could have planned that, but no.
No, he waited for the day.
Physically in my house.
Yeah.
Just to go, no.
And then I did try and argue the points. I'd like your guys' opinion and anybody watching, listening. I did say, I'm sure that there's a rule about losing points if your army's not painted. And technically, Glenn argued it's got paint on it, but would you call that a painted army?
I think also it depends whether you're playing competition level, which I think is where those points kick in. I don't know they are.
Look, there is lead belcher on that, there is null oil on that, and there is the brown one on that. I can't remember the Agrax. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so there's 3 paints on there on each of those models.
There's 1 paint in 2 days.
It's more painting than I've done this past 2 years, probably. But yeah, so, I might do some more at some point. We'll
put it to the popular vote. Bombard us with messages and let us know that technically Glenn lost that game down to paint.
It's only 5 points. Or is it 10 points for painting?
It's a draw.
It's we'll call it a draw. Cool. And then just to finish off, obviously, like me and Shane had a game, and I don't want to talk about it because he beat me again. I'm getting bored of that. That was a good game as well.
I did lead, and I was like, John's never going to play me again. 'Cause
Well,
I should have lost that game by all accounts of it. Is that I think up until turn 3, I was like, no, this is gone. There's no way I can handle the Death Guard. But
yeah.
it
I even said it, didn't I? I even said, because I think we had like a break to eat, and you said, "How's it going?" I said, "I think this is my game to lose," and then I fucking lost.
I think it's something I read a lot, that Necrons are really good sort of mid-board, a good mid-board army, and they didn't kick in until they were in the middle of the board. And I used a couple of stratagems with the Necron warriors that just took out your Plague Marines and your Rhino.
Yeah.
And then I just stayed away from your Terminators, and that was enough.
Yeah. Pain in the backside. And then, but you had to help me as well, because what was it? At one point where I was like, I've done all my shooting, and you had the little scarab things.
Scarab was right out in front, plain as day, on the table.
I was like, I thought it was a token. Yeah. But then, so, I don't know about you guys. So obviously, me and Tom were supposed to have a game tomorrow, but we've had to cancel it for whatever. And then Shane, me and you have got a game at the end of the month.
We do, yeah. We've got 2 weeks to paint up a load of models.
Yeah, and then I think because whatever day I'm coming yours, I'm got a game with Dave again a couple of days after. So we're all going to do objectives and stuff, I guess.
We should try and. I know I wasn't able to go to the last one, but we should try and book, if it's far enough in advance at least, another games day.
Yeah.
So that we could all get together. But
Yeah,
I know it's tough. We just got to try and find it right.
Have any of you got any one-on-ones coming up that you've been playing? I know obviously Tom and Dave get a few in.
No, not anymore.
We were aiming to play today, but I just sort of one thing led to another, and we just didn't get into it. But obviously, I'd like to get a few in the next. I want to play everyone. I really want to play Glenn, because I haven't actually had a game with Glenn, and I really want to play with Shane, but I haven't had a game with him either. So I've had a fair few with you two, and then now I've got my hell breaks, and I feel like I've got enough there to create some interesting lists. So I'm looking forward to the next few games and trying the objectives, because I haven't actually done that yet. So
it adds to it as well, because obviously we've been playing just to eliminate, but like even though I've lost every game, I've actually enjoyed more just because it gives you something else to think about. And obviously we're just sort of trying to charge our units into each other and hope for the best. But yeah, and we do need to get together, because everyone I've played, we've all got different ways of doing things as well. So it's like when I played with you, Shane, I can't remember exactly, but we've done a couple of things differently to when I've played with, obviously me, Tom and Dave are always going to get it wrong for now. There was obviously some differences between the way you play and the way Glenn played. It's just like, not like it was an issue, because I don't know, I'm not set in any way, so it's pretty easy to adapt. And that's just me saying you guys cheat and you're making it up as we go along.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gold coming from you, innit?
I know, but that's the thing. I can't even cheat and win.
Using a load of stratagems without using any CP for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, they were free. I thought it was just like, yeah, have one. It's on the house.
Shane, did he have his magical codex with him when you played?
No, it was fairly. I think Kate had nicked it.
Yeah. Glenn stopped searching me on the way into his house, patted me down, and I had all these post-it notes ripped up in front of me. Cool, right. Right, moving on then quickly, unless anyone's got anything else. So the only thing I've really done, I've been reading Battle for the Abyss, getting ready for the next set of Libraris Omnis, Shane.
Yeah, well, side note, we do need to book that in.
Yeah, we do. I need to finish the book.
I need to start the book again.
We've got a little bit of leeway, because we've got the first 2 parts of Legion. There's 2 more parts to come out.
Oh,
so
okay.
We've got a little bit of time.
Fair enough.
So I won't linger too much on that. And then this arrived in the post. My friend Bradley, who's in our Facebook group, sent this to me very kindly for free. I painted up one of the Terminators, which I did bring to Glenn's game because I wanted a Blight Launcher. The Felfius pack doesn't come with a Blight Launcher, so I had to use this one from the actual Terminator pack and just swap the arms out, which works okay, apart from I put the what's it called, like the pauldron, the monster on his arm and then it made it too wide to go on. So I've got liquid green stuff, and I literally just had to layer it on. And I sat there for ages just holding it together till it dried, because every time I let go of it, it would fall off. But it came out all right. It needs a little bit of touching up. Yeah, he was quite a speedy job. Yeah, but he's
Cool
all right.
model though. So
Yeah.
who in your army?
Yeah.
Who is he? Obviously, he's a character, but has he got any specific place in?
Oh, no, so this guy's just a Terminator.
Okay.
I've got Lord Felfius all primed, ready to go, and then just for the sake of it, I've very gingerly put him together, very loosely. He's not glued or anything, so he'll be next.
So he's the character one, and then
yeah,
so you're sort of with him. He's cohorted, as it says.
Yeah, basically. So he's a Lord of Contagion.
Okay.
That's all he is. And I think like for a while you couldn't buy it, but they've re-released it or they've repackaged him. But yeah, Bradley sent me his one that he had obviously boxed up. And he's got a different. I think he's got a Man Reaper and the Orb of whatever it is. So he's slightly different. An extra 5 points than a normal Lord of Contagion. But
with these two here though, as well. Sorry, just to go on.
Yeah.
These two Terminators, so they go with him, but they're not a separate unit. They're all one unit with him.
No, not really. I mean, it's Lord Felfius and the Tainted Cohort. I don't know if they ever used to have a different thing, but they're just 3 Terminators and a Lord of Contagion, so they can just go as you want them. So he's just gone into my list for this game I played with Glenn as a normal Terminator. And then so I'll either use Lord Felfius as a Lord of Contagion, or I'll take my really crap at charging Lord of Contagion. But they've got the same stats. He just has a different. His scythe is something different. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. And he's got the Orb, which is a grenade that he can use once. Yeah, that's the only model I had time to paint, because I wanted to use it for Glenn's game, and he was the only one. He's one of the 2 surviving Terminator, so he did me well. And
you're obviously going to keep the one with the fancy gun. No one goes, you've killed the guy, I'm going to take out a special weapon.
No, he survived the horrific battle against the Mechanicum by merit.
I said that he's a Blight Lord, isn't he? So he's got a 4 up invulnerable.
Yeah.
Which is filthy.
Yeah.
For a Terminator, it's absolutely filthy.
Yeah. He did me well, for the most part. Better than that bloody crawler that kept missing everything.
He wasn't too bad. It just had one round where it did naff all.
Yeah.
The rest, like, it chipped off a few wins here and there from other stuff.
Yeah. It was all right. Cool. So I think for Hobby Roundup, unless anyone's got anything else they want to add, plug, or talk
We're
about.
not going to talk about the releases, the new kill team, and
We are actually, yes, they're here. Well remembered.
leading nicely into it.
Sorry, it's because that came up. So yeah, very well. What does everyone think about this then?
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Apparently they've redone the rules from the bottom up, right? So I just wonder. I mean, I didn't play the last kill team, so I just wonder how current kill team players might feel about it. Given I don't know how much it's going to change, it looks very cool. Like I like the commandos, and the Death Corps of Kriegors look pretty good. And did everyone watch the cinematic trailer?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. And if that's like the minimum level we're going to get from Warhammer Plus, like that was really a good quality video as well. What was it? 2 minutes of orcs and Krieg absolutely ruining each other.
I'm the same with Shane. I want to know what they've done to the rules, because I like the way the old one plays, and it seems like really, really gone to town on changing it, as in it doesn't represent 40k at all. So I'm a little bit,
yeah,
good, could be bad.
How many times have they done that? Because obviously, like, we're on 9th edition for 40. How many times have they revamped the rules for Kill Team then?
I want to say this is 3rd, maybe 4th time Kill Team's been out, as it's been called Kill Team. Yeah, this is because they've done a thing called Shadow War, which was basically It was basically Kill Team, and then they changed it again, and then they brought out Kill Team, and they brought it out with several different types. There was just the core one, then you could have your Summer League choices, and then you could have an HQ in there as well. So there was sort of expansions to it. But it was always sort of followed the 40k, the current 40k rule set. So profiles were the same, turn sequences were more or less the same, things like that. But there was a few different changes with the last edition to the current 40k edition of the time. Now, because they've gone, nope, we're changing everything, including new profiles for everything. I'm not 100% on this until I actually get to play it. Because I love Kill Team. I have done for years and years and years. But not if they've dicked up with the system.
So, without going into too much detail or asking you to explain too much, what is the primary difference between Kill Team and just a normal small game of Warhammer? Is it completely separate rules?
Current, not this box that's coming out, current ones, it's more or less the same. There's things that have been in Kill Team that has sort of started to make its way into this edition. Obviously, the last edition of Kill Team was based around the previous edition of 40k. So, but there was modifiers to hit depending on if you've been in cover, which is now sort of come in. Your models, once they were wounded, they weren't necessarily taken out of the game. They were made worse. So it made not for your guys to shoot or more easy for you to re-wound them to eventually then take things out of the game. Plus, it was really good for doing campaigns. So you survived, they gained experience, they got some extra skills, they maybe, were able to heal from things. Other ones took some damage from wounds, some of the stats went down. So there's a nice little RPG element to the game, but the overall mechanics of the game were similar, but with some differences.
It sounds very similar to what and I haven't played any extra editions of Necromunda, but similar to what Necromunda was in terms of, you could level up your gang, you could, progress with them as you had different battles. As you said, like you'd get shot and you wouldn't necessarily be out, but you'd level down, so you wouldn't be able to shoot next turn, or you'd be pinned, or you'd need like a friendly unit to come and pick you up or something like that. So, and it isn't with Kill or current edition, so not this edition. You could do things like ready your troops and stuff, in you, so they could like have a better aim or whatever it is. Like you get
what was it? There wasn't. Yeah. So if you readied them, they got to shoot before the other person got to shoot, or they got to move. It's a long time since I played the last edition of Kill Team. But I know what you mean. There's certain things you could do.
Yeah.
So then, as soon as something came into like that model's field of vision, he could basically have a shot at it outside of burn and things like that.
Didn't it still use the initiative mechanic as well? So it wouldn't be your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. It would be whoever had the most initiative at the start of each turn would go first. But I can't remember. As I said, it's been a while since I've seen any battle reports on it, so that might have changed.
The original, I think you alternated, but then did you swap in it? There was definitely initiative swap point, but then I didn't really get into the expanded stuff with when they brought in the elites and the HQ expansions. So possibly they changed it up how the turn went, but yeah, I could have swore because this having you move, I move, but individual models.
Yeah,
you had that in the previous edition as well. But I could maybe I'm mixing it up. You have that in Necromunda. It's also phenomenal.
It's definitely something I'd like to. That's on the screen.
No, but my guess would be about 90 quid.
All right. So it's not so it's just quite expensive, but it's not too bad with everything you get.
Yeah, you get a lot, but
And the models do
90
look
quid
really
to have
cool.
a game.
You do, and you talk. It's a squad of guys and a squad of boys. You know, and some scenery. It's not that much.
No.
You know.
But you get the map, you get the dice, you get all the rules.
I will say the orcs do look cool. Like you've got a squig with some bombs on it. You've got an orc with a beanie hat. You know, just
Someone said one of them's got a Swiss Army knife as well, apparently. Hanging on him.
Yeah.
Not a lot of shovels in that picture, though, is there?
No,
The
lack of
creek.
shovels is one in.
Yeah. But then, obviously, I take it if they're revamping it completely, all the armies everyone's already got, I imagine they'll bring the rules up to date eventually as well. So
I will say in the rulebook you will get or some manual that's in the box or to follow will have exactly what you can take and points, costs, and weapon profiles of the individual units you can take, because you can't take everything in Kill Team. You can only take sort of generally smaller and more specialized units. So, like, John won't be able to take a Death Guard Terminators, but could probably still be Plague Marines and some Poxwalkers, maybe. But like the bigger, weirder things you don't get in Kill Team because they're supposed to be small, covert missions. You're not going to get massive armies to go and do like some little covert mission.
Yeah.
In the Space Marine sort of teams just used to be Reavers, didn't they? They were just basically a squad of Reavers with grappling hooks.
Yeah, should be Reavers, Scouts.
Yeah.
And some of the other Phobos armored stuff as well, probably. I would expect to see.
Cool. Awesome. Anybody got anything else for Kill Team? Cool. One for you then, Dave.
I'm so excited.
What does it all mean? What could it be?
Well, I've been looking into it like the little nerd I am. There's lots of theories.
Black
The main
Templars
thing is
fall into
obviously
chaos.
it would just be a supplement, I think, codex supplement.
It's got to be.
But yeah, I'd like a full codex, but I'll settle with a supplement.
What if they
hopefully
swerve?
some new model?
I was going to say, what if they swerve you and it's just like Crusade rules for the Crusade mechanics in 40k?
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty good. Like, I'm hoping in an ideal world, I would have a new codex, new models, and Primaris Crusader squads. I think Primaris Crusader squads would be absolutely awesome, but I think that's asking a bit too much. I'll settle for a supplement and a new model. But like I said previously, they must have watched the last pod because I've asked for some Black Templar stuff. So
that must be what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People are saying that it could be all sorts of things, so I don't want to get carried away with myself because it's very easily done. But I'd like, I'd like at least a supplement and hopefully some Gucci models as well.
They deserve a supplement. I think the Templars, massive chapter, aren't they? I mean, a lot of people follow them, so that'd be wicked.
Yeah. I think they'll stand to off from it as well, because I think people would get excited for like a new Emperor's Champion, or like I say, if there was like Primaris Crusader squads, or even a Primaris upgrade sprue for all the sort of, because you can use the old stuff, but it doesn't look as good. So even just a new upgraded sprue for the Primaris, I think that'd be quite an interesting addition. But we'll see. Wait and see. It's
not going to come out just as you finished your 3 characters. So, chances are, if one of them is going to get a Primaris upgrade, it's going to be one of those 3. Yours.
I reckon they're going to string you along for about a year, just as you finish.
Oh, it'll be ages yet. Yeah.
Black Templars, and you're just with this new magazine rule again. You'll just decide on your next army, buy a bunch, and they're like, "Here's some more Black Templars."
Yeah, probably. Well, we've still got the other ones because obviously they mentioned with all the sort of old releases, there's 1,000 Sun ones and a Grey Knight Codex possibly come in. So
Yeah.
I think I've got a long way to wait until we actually find out what this all means. But at least a supplement, hopefully some new models. And in an ideal world, all Primaris characters. So Primaris, Helbrecht, Grimaldus, and an Emperor's Champion. That'd be nice. And Crusaders.
We've got the I don't know if it's a whole series or just a couple episodes for Black Templars and Warhammer Plus. So you might get some new characters come out of that.
Yeah, hopefully, like I said before, like a martial character, that'd be quite cool, or a Castellan, like a named one which fits sort of in a niche within the Black Templars army and wouldn't go anywhere else. So we'll see. Watch this space, but I am very excited. I watched this and got
An erection.
Yeah, incredibly.
Just say it, Dave. It's fine.
He's ready to right, I haven't got any more photos, but there was obviously like orcs, and I think there was a Tyranid versus orc coming out. So unless anyone's got anything else they really want to talk about, we'll wrap up for this episode.
Yeah, I'm good.
All good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, cool. So that's our hobby roundup video. Like I said, the second part of this episode will be out on Friday. So in the meantime, please do check us out on Instagram. Come join us on Facebook, join our group, and come talk to us there. We're also on Twitter, YouTube. Hit the like and share buttons, and if you're not already, please subscribe. And if you're preferring to listen to us, then we are on Spotify, Apple, and most podcast services. We have got Twitch. Might get something else done on there soon. And then if you'd like to support us, we've got a Patreon which you can join, and we also have our Element Games affiliate link. So if you want to buy any discounted hobby stuff, please use our link. It's in all our descriptions on videos and etc. And for no extra cost to you, we'll get a little bit of money that we can put back into the channel. We very much appreciate that. And try and beat Glenn and Shane. Join our Clan and Combat cards. We've had quite a few people join actually, and we need to knock them off the top spot because it's getting old.
Not happening.
But that is going to be everything for us this week. So we'll say Exterminatus.
As always, we would like to thank you for listening to our Iron and Ceramite podcast. If you liked us, then you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any other good podcast services. Just remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
So we'll say Exterminatus.
Nice wave. Nice wave.
Cool. Right, does everyone want to